is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning, and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. This June, a local museum is putting a patriotic twist on its annual quilt show. On the WHOW Morning Show Friday, C.H. Moore Homestead Director Joey Long told the Hart Media Group that they are still asking the community to lend their USA-themed quilts for this summer's quilt show. They are looking for quilts that are red, white, or blue, or honor the country and its history in some way.
There's actually an America 250 at the Homestead event, at least one event each month now to the end of the year.
Right.
June is one of our heavier ones. We actually have 3 things taking place at the Homestead for June. So the quilt show, now that's an annual event, not a special event, but we put a fun little twist into it this year. The ladies thought that in honor of America 250, that it would be nice to have a quilt show that features quilts that are all red, white, and or blue, or have patriotic themes, or like the Baltimore album style quilt, that type of thing. So it's the first time that that's been done. I think it'll be really neat. We have had some quilts come in already. And you might think, well, if it's limited to, red, white, and blue and, patriotic symbolism and whatnot, how much variety can there be? Well, already I will tell you, it's amazing. Even, narrowing it down to those colors and themes and patterns and whatnot, already we have just some beautiful quilts that have come in, and obviously no two are alike, and it'll be fabulous.
Long reminds that quilts are lent to the museum each year for the quilt show for the entire month of June and returned in July after its conclusion, meaning no 2 years are exactly the same. If you'd like yours to be included, the last day to drop it off at the Homestead is May 26th.
We are putting out our annual call for quilts.
Okay.
So the quilt show each year is made up of quilts that are loaned throughout the month of June from collectors, quilters, people that are holding on to their heirlooms. All of these people are kind enough to bring the quilts to the museum, let us borrow them and display them for the month so everyone can enjoy them. So it's a community effort. And because of this, the quilt show is never the same twice. So you can stop by the museum anytime to drop off a quilt. We are open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 5, 1 to 5 on Sundays. But that last cutoff day to be able to drop off a quilt and be included in the quilt show, that day is Tuesday, May 26th.
Okay.
So please bring them in. And we take vintage quilts, new quilts, anything you have, as long as it falls, kind of under that umbrella of, the colors and the themes and the symbols and the patterns and whatnot, colonial theme or eagles, stars, stripes, think along those lines too. We are happy to have them.
If you'd like to see these beautiful quilts on display at the Homestead, you can do so from June 2nd to June 30th. Long notes that regular admission fees do apply.
And then the quilt show, it runs the entire month of June. So it will kick off June 2nd.
All right.
June 1st being a Monday, and we're closed on Monday. So it kicks off June 2nd and it runs through June 30th. So the admission fee for that is $10 for adults. And then ages 16 to 18 is $5. Ages 5 and under free. And museum members are also free admission as well. So when you visit the museum in June, we have some people that come just for the quilt show, not the tour narrative. And then we also have people that will come, for the tour narrative, but then they're also treated to the quilt show. So it's kind of a nice thing for people.
We'll have more with Long in the weeks ahead on the Homestead's year-long series of America 250 themed events. Learn more by visiting chmorehomestead.org or by finding them on Facebook. The University of Illinois Extension in Logan County is working with the Illinois Soybean Association on a plot of land in Hartsburg on the north side of the county. Reagan Tibbs, a commercial agriculture educator at the University of Illinois Extension in Logan County, indicates the 10-acre plot is part of the Yield Challenge program. The project specifically focuses on testing different soybean varieties and management practices to see which combinations perform best in the specific soil conditions of central Illinois.
Extension has a plot up at Hartsburg, that's 17 acres. It was donated to Extension shortly after we were founded in Logan County, and the purpose of it is to do research demonstration. The idea is that we can get research, out of the university and out of their research plots and put it in local areas where local producers and local people can see the research that we're doing, and it can have a direct impact and benefit for the operation. So this year we're excited to do a soybean seeding rate trial. So we're going to have one control rate of 120,000 seeds an acre. We're going to do that across the sidelands and headlands of the field. And then in the rest of the field, we're going to try out different seeding rates. Using that 120,000, then we're going to go down to 80,000, 100,000, then go up to 140,000 and 160,000 seeds per acre, just to see what happens. What do we see in terms of yield differences? What do we see with weed suppression and weed pressures? What do we see in terms of nutrient uptake? Those types of things, to see if there is kind of a more optimal rates, or what you could expect if you planted those different types of seeding.
The research at the Hartsburg site goes beyond simple variety testing. Tibbs explains they will be evaluating the impact of different planting populations and the timing of fungicide applications. By collecting data on how these variables interact throughout the growing season, the extension aims to provide farmers with more precise, data-driven recommendations for their own operations.
We'll do soybeans this year, and then we might, when it comes time to do soybeans again, we might do it again just to see and get another year of data off it. The nice thing about this experiment that we've designed is that it's a checkerboard design. So the software I used to help design it, it has 7 replications of each of those different seeding rates. So that way we have that enough variability within the field, and they're kind of randomly placed across the field, so we can get different aspects and different, if one part of the field has different levels of phosphorus or nitrogen or a different pH level, then we can compare that to other parts of the field that have that same seeding rate. We'll certainly try it moving forward and see what kind of data we get out of it.
Local weather has played a significant role in the plot's early development, despite some heavy rains in early May that caused localized concerns. The Hartsburg plot was planted in ideal conditions and has shown strong initial emergence. The research team will continue to monitor the site for pest pressure and nutrient uptake as the soybeans move into the reproductive stages.
We're very fortunate to have some generous folks around the area who donate not only the ability to do the field work for us. We have a farmer up in that area who's very generous in planting and harvesting for us and doing other types of applications. We've also been able to get the seed donated for this as well. So we're very fortunate to have those types of connections in the community who are willing to support that local research for them. I'll probably be up there at least once a week, barring that I'm in the area and that I'm able to get up there. But generally, I'll use that information that we get to submit crop reports that I do through the Illinois Soybean Association Extension in partnership with Soybean. We do crop reports around the state that we publish every week. So I'll use the information we're getting from that and plus other aspects I'm seeing across our 3 counties. So I'll try to be up there at least once a week just to kind of get a gauge of things.
According to Tibbs, a field day is planned for late August or early September. Learn more at extension.illinois.edu/LMS. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
Longview Community Bank is now open in Clinton, investing in rural Illinois. I'm Vice President Nate Sams. Stop by for a visit or to find out how we provide real local banking. Click our banner ad at the top of the local news page on DeWittDailyNews.com.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. In high school softball regional quarterfinal matchups from this afternoon, all games beginning at 4:30 p.m. The 9th-seeded Gibson City Melvin Sibley heads to 8th-seeded Armstrong, while the 10th-seeded Martinsville goes to 7th-seed Arthur Levington Atwood Hammond. 7th-seeded Cerro Gordo is hosting the 10th-seeded Georgetown Ridge Farm, while the 10th-seeded Blue Ridge goes to 7th-seeded Champaign St. Thomas More, and the 11th-seeded Heritage is being hosted by the 5th-seed Decatur St. Teresa. In Class 2A this afternoon, again, games beginning at 4:30 p.m., the 9th-seeded Clinton Maroons head to the 8th-seeded Maroa Forsyth Trojans. Hear the action on WHOW and all its digital platforms, while the 9th-seeded El Paso Gridley is hosted by the 8th-seeded Paxton Buckley Loda, and the 10th-seeded Shelbyville goes to 7th-seeded Sullivan. Edgar Caro hit a 2-run homer in the 10th inning, and the Chicago White Sox beat the Chicago Cubs 9-8 on Sunday in the rubber game of their first crosstown series this season.
Will Venable has said the superpower of this White Sox team is that they never stop playing, no matter the score. Trailing 4-1, you stopping, Sox? Nah.
Swinging a fly ball out into right center. Crow Armstrong going back. 1 run in. Here comes the tying run. 4-4.
How about trailing 8-7 in extra innings?
Caro hits a fly ball out into deep left center field. It's back there. It is gone! Edgar Caro wins it!
After a 7-2 homestand and taking the crosstown series from the Cubs, the Sox hit the road for a 6-game road trip starting in Seattle on Monday. I'm Jeff Meller, and I'll have your pregame coverage starting at 8 p.m. on the ESPN 1000 Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The White Sox are back on WHOW tonight when they play the first of a 3-game series with the Mariners. Pregame starts at 8 p.m. Salvador Perez homered and drove in 2 runs.
I'm weatherology meteorologist Derek Height with a significant weather update brought to you exclusively by ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties, your fire, storm, and water restoration specialists. A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 9:15 a.m. this morning for Peoria, Fulton, Mason, Logan, and Tazewell counties. This line of storms has the potential for both large hail and strong straight-line winds. Pea-sized hail and winds up to 60 miles an hour are likely as it pushes east at about 40 miles an hour. For your safety, stay inside and away from windows until the storm passes. Large hail and strong winds can easily shatter glass, causing injury. If you're caught outside, take shelter in a sturdy building or a hardtop car. Take shelter now. Once again, a severe thunderstorm warning continues until 9:15 a.m. this morning for Peoria, Fulton, Mason, Logan, and Tazewell counties. Remember, this line of storms has the potential for pea-sized hail and wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. Stay tuned for additional updates. I'm meteorologist Derek Height.
Victor Scott II bobbled Vinny Pasquantino's single and scored on Perez's sac fly to left field to give the Royals a 1-0 lead. Cardinals shortstop Mason Wynn left the game and was favoring his left leg as he returned to the dugout in the bottom of the 7th inning after beating out a double play attempt at first base. Manager Oliver Marmol said Wynn had left knee discomfort and would be day-to-day. Royals right-hander Seth Lugo will oppose Boston righty Sonny Gray to open a 9-game homestand Monday night. Cardinals lefty Matthew Liberatore will oppose Pittsburgh right-hander Mitch Keller to open a 3-game home series Tuesday night. The Illinois State baseball program fell in the series finale with Michigan State 18-8 on Saturday afternoon at Jeff Ishbia Field at McLean Stadium. Braden Bakes set a new program record for hits in a single season with a 4-hit effort, including a home run and a trio of singles in the contest. The Algonquin, Illinois native surpassed former Redbirds Owen Miller and Joe Ailt's record with 90 hits in 2026. Bakes added 3 RBIs in the game to tally his 52nd RBI for the season, making him the 10th different Redbird in program history to achieve at least 50 RBIs in a single season. The Redbirds took an early advantage after Braden Bakes homered to left center to give Illinois State a 1-0 lead in the opening moments of the contest. Michigan State later answered in the home half as an RBI groundout evened the score at 1-1. With the score tied, the Spartans claimed the lead following an RBI double and an RBI triple, which plated 2 runs to make the score 3-1 in the bottom of the second. Trailing entering the third, Illinois State loaded the bases after a leadoff hit by pitch by Ryan Bakes and back-to-back singles from Braden Bakes and Graham Mastros. Michael Carano Jr. pulled a run back on a ground out to cut the deficit to 3-2. Moments later, Luke Stolga delivered an RBI single to tie the score at 3-all. As the Redbirds evened the score, Michigan State answered back with back-to-back walks to open the inning and a pair of runners on. The Spartans later advanced both runners into scoring position to set up a sac fly to reclaim the lead at 4-3. With Michigan State leading once more, Eric Machej reached on a leadoff single to open the frame in the top of the fourth. Moments later, Ryan Bakes launched his 12th home run of the season to give Illinois State a 5-4 advantage. Despite the answer from the Redbirds, Michigan State responded with back-to-back singles, including an RBI single to even it once again at 5-5. As the Spartans evened the score in the fourth, they continued their rally entering the fifth, as after a leadoff double, Michigan State homered to left to claim a 7-5 lead. The Spartans tallied their second home run of the frame to extend the lead to 8-5. In the sixth inning, the Redbirds battled back as a pair of walks and a single loaded the bases and set up a 2 RBI single from Braden Bakes and cut the deficit to 8-7 and secure the single season hit record. As Illinois State chipped into the Spartans' lead, Michigan State responded with a solo shot to build it back to 9-7 and their advantage. Illinois State looked to rally in the top of the seventh as Stolga reached on a hit by pitch and Camden Karchewski reached on a pinch hit single to put 2 runners on in the opening frame. After a sac bunt from Machej to move the runners into scoring position, the Redbirds threatened, but Michigan State escaped the jam and maintained its 9-7 lead. In the home half of the seventh, after stranding a pair of runners, Michigan State extended its lead with an RBI single to make the score 10-7. The Redbirds responded in the top of the eighth after a single from Briggs and a Spartans error. Carano Jr. singled up the middle to drive in a run that made the score 10-8. In the bottom of the eighth, Michigan State's offense rallied after a leadoff single and walk set up a 3-run homer to give the Spartans a 13-8 lead. Moments later, Michigan State added an RBI single to plate their 4th run of the frame and extend it to 14-8. After a hit by pitch loaded the bases, the Spartans capitalized with a grand slam to secure the run rule victory at 18-8. Illinois dropped its final game of the regular season 11-2 on the road to Indiana on Saturday afternoon. The Fighting Illini enter the Big Ten tournament with a 28-25 record and a 14-16 mark in Big Ten play. Cole Wareheim posted his 3rd 3-hit day of the season, going 3 for 4, while tallying his first Big Ten home run on a solo shot in the 5th. J.R. Nelson went 2 for 3 at the plate with a solo homer, his 3rd long ball of the year. The game went scoreless until the 4th when Indiana exploded for 6 runs. Illinois got 2 back in the top of the 5th to make it 6-2, before Indiana put up another 2 runs in the home half of the 6th and 3 more in the 7th for the final 11-2 tally. The Illini will take on Iowa at home to start the Big Ten tournament on Tuesday at 1 p.m. In MLB scores from yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Miami Marlins 6-3, while the Baltimore Orioles beat the Washington Nationals 7-3. The Atlanta Braves took down the Boston Red Sox 8-1. And the Philadelphia Phillies shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates 6-0. The Cleveland Guardians routed the Cincinnati Reds 10-3, and the New York Mets beat the New York Yankees 7-6 in 10 innings. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Detroit Tigers 4-1, and the Minnesota Twins took down the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. The Texas Rangers shut out the Houston Astros 8-0, while the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Colorado Rockies 8-6. The San Francisco Giants routed the Athletics 10-1, and the LA Dodgers routed the LA Angels 10-1. And the San Diego Padres took down the Seattle Mariners 8-3. In NBA scores from yesterday, the 4th-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers had a big win over the 1st-seeded Detroit Pistons 125-94. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
It's never too early to start thinking about back-to-school preparations. Part of getting your kids ready for the new school year means making sure they're healthy. SIU Center for Family Medicine is here to help with back-to-school and sports physicals. Healthy kids learn better and play harder. Call 217-735-2317 today to schedule your appointment. That's 217-735-2317. SIU Medicine. Forward for you.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4-lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. The clock is ticking for Iran. That's according to President Trump. He's taken to Truth Social to warn Iran's leadership that it better move fast to make a peace deal with the U.S. or there won't be anything left of them. The Trump administration is working to verify voter eligibility nationwide. It is checking tens of millions of registrations against federal databases, part of a bid to assure election integrity ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. On the National Mall yesterday, it was Rededicate 250, a national jubilee of prayer, praise, and thanksgiving. And the hantavirus-stricken cruise ship is docked in Rotterdam, where the remaining crew members on board will be quarantined and the ship will be thoroughly disinfected. On Wall Street, the Dow futures down 192 points. More details, srnnews.com.
If you're listening right now, chances are you're either worried about a parent living alone or you are that parent and you know your family worries about you. Either way, there's a great company that finally got senior safety right, Connected Caregiver. Connected Caregiver is everything you already know about senior alert devices, fall detection, emergency button GPS, but reimagined for today. A small wearable device alerts your family the moment something happens. Discreet in-home sensors, no cameras, no microphones, cover you even when you're not wearing it. And a smart pill box tells your family if medications were taken, all right on their phones. For the kids, you go from hoping everything is fine to actually knowing it is, even when you're across the country. For mom and dad, Connected Caregiver keeps you in your home on your terms. That's not losing independence, that's keeping it. Call 888-870-8020. A Connected Caregiver specialist who genuinely cares will help find the best solution for you. They'll even help check if you qualify for a free device. Call 888-870-8020, 888-870-8020.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. This June, a local museum is putting a patriotic twist on its annual quilt show. On the WHOW Morning Show Friday, CH Moore Homestead Director Joey Long told the Heart Media